Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going down to Bitcoin once again. Thank you for support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So something I'm anticipating here is some kind of short squeeze at the bottom when everyone's getting really fearful, of basically breaking down. Obviously it can happen, but I'm seeing a lot of coins that have already broken out and retested the 20, and Bitcoin's one of those coins that's not actually done it. Okay, and I did see this at the previous bottom as well in 2018, where a lot of the altcoins actually surged, tested the 20, come back, and then Bitcoin carried on and tested its 20. So it is something I'm anticipating because of the overextension. I mean, for example, here there was this trade that I posted way back in June, on June the 17th, the day after the potential bottom for Bitcoin. I posted it on Quant just there. Potentially wave 2's retraced the 786 fib, and you got this potential wave 3 loading right there. And from that point now, I think it was trading at about $44. It actually did it. It found its floor and it started to come up. And again, look at the big gaps in the EMAs, the overextension. It hadn't retested the 20 EMA in a very long time, since April, I think it was, and it was looking for that retracement because of the overextension. And I remember on this particular tweet there was so many salty comments on it, basically. And I do get salty comments. It is what it is. I've not got a crystal ball, but so far, that particular trade at this moment off this low has come all the way up, and it's been sitting at the moment. You see how you've come into the EMAs, you've tightened up the gaps right there. Look at the big gaps. Okay, you've tightened up the gaps, and this is currently up 137% off that low, on that particular time frame. So Bitcoin is a bit laggy to the altcoins, and you've got to realize this right now. This is exactly what I see on the previous low as well, where Ethereum, for example, on the previous low broke out, retested 20, come back, made a higher low, structural bottom, and then went again. And it's done exactly that this time. Okay, people think it's related to the merge, possibly buy the hype, sell the news sort of thing. Buy the rumor, sell the news, possibly, but it's just doing what it's done before. Okay, so for me, I think that Bitcoin's just a bit laggy, and for me, I think that you're potentially looking at an impulsive move into the 20 off the lows that we're in right now because of the altcoins that are giving the game away. Like I said to you, certain coins that have done this, Quant is one of those, Ethereum is one of those, I think CKB is one of those, Firo is one of those. So a lot of those sort of altcoins have done that. Okay, so is it a looking glass as to what's going to go on? I've not got a crystal ball. Potentially this is something I'm looking at as a potential short squeeze that's setting up, and I did make a video on this a few weeks ago as a potential short squeeze which should see you pump into the 20 and then the 55. So if we take a look at Bitcoin right now and see what it's doing. So what Bitcoin's doing here, it is quite beautiful to see, to be honest with you. I know it feels awful, but it is what it is, and sometimes you just got to zoom out, because at the moment what we've got is a key low. Okay, we've got a beautiful low right there that we all anticipated for Bitcoin, and data told us it was a low as well right now. Okay, and I do try and find the optimal entry points for you, and we've rode it up into key resistance, which was the 236. Okay, so if you was long off there, like I said to you, think about taking profit, because you're going to move up and down through resistance and support. That's how it all works. Okay, you're not just going to take off into space. Please remember that. And this is what I teach on the channel. The market moves in waves. So right now we've got this low. Okay, and simply what we did is we traced into this eye and we ran into the 236, run into it constantly, resistance, failed to break it, take some profit off the table, coming back for a high level support. Job done. Okay, we found that high level support, and what we've done, we ran into the 10 EMA as resistance. So next time this starts to come back like this, which it is, it has to hold this ascending level support to remain bullish or create this bottom structure. Do you understand? So right now I always try and find the optimal entry points for you to go long or go short, basically. So right now this is actually an optimal entry point. You're looking at an optimal trade here, because what we've got is a key low that we put in just there. Okay, so 18541 is your stop loss, and right now you build long positions to hold the low in a higher low and start to come up and break the 10, because when you break the 10, what is your next level of resistance? Like I've shown you, boom, the 20. So you could be looking at a massive pump here for the crypto markets, and especially Bitcoin, because it's a bit of a laggard, isn't it, compared to Ethereum, which is bolted off the lows into the 20 and coming back right now. You've got the likes of CKB, Firo, a lot of those small altcoins as well are doing what Bitcoin potentially is about to do, which is pop up to the 20. So if that is the case and you hold this low, this is a fantastic opportunity when others are really fearful and bearish, that you're just basically looking at a beautiful retracement to the 20 to around about 26% gain. Okay, this is how it all works. Okay, so it's basically trading, isn't it? Finding optimal entry points and minimalizing risk. So right now, you could go onto BitGet or buy Bit, go long with a really tight stop loss. Don't be a degen, don't over leverage, because there's an optimal entry point for you to ride the wave up into a kilo resistance staring in front of your face. Do you understand? And again, if it goes the other way, you get stopped out and you lose a small amount of money, and it is what it is. You're trying to find the optimal entry points. So me personally, I'm long on XRP and Bitcoin because I think XRP is looking for a 20 EMA retest. I think that Bitcoin's potentially looking for a 20 EMA, and it is potential. There's no guarantees. Remember, nothing's guaranteed on this channel. But if this does start to come up like this, okay, and you hold this low and we get some kind of squeeze here, some kind of compression of this 10 and this support, ascending support line, and you coil up, and if you break, it's just doing what it always does, okay? It's retracing to resistance, to retest it as resistance in a downtrend. And again, you know, you could TP at that point and it starts to come back into the 10, starts to hold that support. What you're doing here is carving out a potential W double bottom pattern over a long period of time, which is the structural bottom, which I've said to you, you need to see for us to get really bullish here, basically, you know. And we've got this primary resistance of the 236 just there. If we start to come up and take it out, holding back to support, you start to get back above these EMAs. You can see you've got your bottom and you start to curl around and come back upstairs here. And this is a scenario, like I've said to you, just wait for whether or not it's here, okay, or we do something like this and continue, you know. Whenever we start to curve around and break the resistance of a bottom, boom, 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 confirmation statement. And it really is that simple, okay? Don't overcomplicate it and keep it simple. Keep it, you know, Fibonacci EMAs. That's it. Don't overcomplicate things. Too many things in the charts. So at the moment, you know, what do I think will happen? It doesn't care what I think will happen, you know. I think potentially we've got a lovely little trade in front of us when everyone's really fearful and people are selling into this, shorting support, you know, the shorts are piling on, and all of a sudden you'll get a little short squeeze up into the EMAs, the 20 EMA. Now if it does start to do that over the next few months here, for me, you're building a massive confidence and a huge statement that that was your bottom right there, okay? And you start to carve out this structural bottom for Bitcoin. And I think you've got a beautiful impulsive wave right there, okay? And it would potentially say to me that, okay, your A, your B, and your C is done. And you're looking at an impulsive move to the upside. And it's that simple, okay? So I wish everyone almost look, you know, the worst case scenario here is if you do start to come down and you sweep below that low at 18,541, then it means that potentially what we've got here is a correction, and then this is beginning of a new impulsive wave to the downside. And at this point, you know, this is where you get stopped out and you could go short if you lose that support, because if you start to see Bitcoin coming down below the 1 fib at 17,624, and especially that low there that you've put in on this ascending level support, if you do start to see it come down and sweep these lows, then you've got another impulsive move to the downside, and you could go short at that point on BitGet or buy Bit, whatever you want to do, with a top loss obviously to the 1272, around about 16k at a bare minimal for Bitcoin, okay? You know, and that, it is what it is. It's trading the ranges. So hope you enjoyed that little update. But right now, you know, you've got the 10 coming down, you're potentially carving out the structural bottom here exactly like you did down here when everyone really bearish. You come down, short squeeze, pop, breakout, see you later. You're looking for this, and again, you know, down here I would have been telling you exactly the same. If you start to come up and close above these EMAs and take out that resistance there, you're confirming your bottom and you'll never come back to it. Although we come back to the neckline in the C word dump of 2020. Look at that as support, boom. So again, you know, if we go for a very similar scenario, we come up here and we get some kind of big catastrophe, this neckline could be a support going forward. It is a big if, obviously. I've got no guarantees and I've not got a crystal ball. Good luck, everybody. Have a good weekend. Take care. Back soon with another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.